Hey guys, I got one last minute gift idea for you. You've got about 24 hours.
Yeah,
right?
24
No, you haven't
hours. So, like
finished.
the extra wallets, ours are still available and they are on sale. Also, check out their website.
Yes.
Up to 50% off for like just a Christmas sale in general. These are perfect stocking stuffers, and people actually use these every day.
Yeah, I get compliments on mine all the time. So if you're looking for last minute gifts, check out Extra and use our promo codes down below. I'll put the links down below, and I hope you guys enjoy this review. Check it out. Hey guys, welcome to our review for Wonka, a 2023 musical fantasy film. And the boys are back, so welcome back to movie reviews from your European adventure. I think you've probably tried candies just like these over there, yes? Because
Lots
they
of
have
chocolates.
wacky chocolates
Lots of
and
stuff.
candies in Europe. This one is the third film based on Willy Wonka. And we won't talk about the second one, even though
I was going.
I haven't
to.
seen it.
he was going
I
to
saw
mention.
I only
it.
saw the first
You
little bit of it.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Well, I mean,
one of
you
the worst
he
films I've
knows.
ever seen.
Yeah, like normally you see these movies and you're like, that looks terrible. I'm not going to support it. And then you
Johnny
watch.
Depp.
I like Johnny Depp. I saw it. I was like, all right.
The
I'm
thing
watching.
I
was
would
like,
give like a
okay.
fucking 2. It's that bad for me. I fucking hated that one. However, this new one has what's this gem? Timothy Chalamet. And he's gonna do Dune Part 2, and he takes on the role of young Wonka as an origin story. Back when Willy Wonka was a chocolatier and just now, kind of coming into his own. And I gotta say, I kind of went into the film, curmudgeon. I was like, yeah, this thing, I'm not gonna like this. It's not gonna be
Well, the
good.
second one, you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
so-
it's not. I'll tell you right off the bat, it is not a colossal disaster like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from 2005 with Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. That was awful. This is much better than that. And while initially it wasn't grabbing me, I think it has a really good second act with a lot of funny jokes. I was laughing out loud. Eventually, my crabbiness kind of dissipated, and I was enjoying myself. However, that first song hits you right away and lets you know this is a musical, okay? You're going to get multiple, music sequences. And honestly, the songs are, at least the first song, is not very good. So I was like, not the best way to open it. Some of the songs get a little better, but none of them reach the level of the original. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Still can't be topped. This one is not better. It's not close, but it was a celebration, and I think that this one, paid homage to that one in several musical cues, and obviously using a lot of the elements from that film in this film in respectful ways and ways where it felt genuine, and ultimately, I actually liked Wonka by the end. It kind of won me over. And this is clearly a different Wonka than Gene Wilder. There's the darkness is kind of gone.
Yeah,
and that's
I want
what
to know
I was
what
missing.
happened on that.
What happened in between? I was like, is this little girl that he's with, this orphan, going to die? Like, that would make sense or something, to make him dark or something. Because in this film, he's kind of tied to this orphan character and kind of a storyline where they kind of fight for their freedom and fight to make good chocolate and battle Slugworth and the other
Chocolate
two.
Cartel.
The Chocolate Cartel. So, what did you guys say? Alex, how do you like the film? What do you think?
It was better than I thought. I saw the trailers and it's like, look, it doesn't need to exist. I don't trust people to make it. And so that being said, it is better, but there's some problems here. I think that this is tonally uneven. There are times where it's really touching and it's really sweet. And there's these moments it's like, wow, this is really good. And it just bounces right into a section where Willy Wonka is beyond like cartoon character. And I know he's supposed to be childlike and he's supposed to be a little bit wacky, but it's almost a parody that goes so far beyond what it is that it lessens the impact of some of these really touching emotional moments that they end really strongly with on the film. but there are times where it just doesn't always work out. I love musicals. I think the music from the original 1971 one is just absolutely incredible. They definitely are emotionally manipulative here, where they're like our movie, we're gonna play all the stuff, the hits from our old movie to make you get you into the mood. I think some of their songs worked. I would say that the majority of them are average at best.
Nobody's going to be singing those songs.
Yeah.
Oompa Loompa, I sung a lot. A bunch of these other songs from the original, I sung a lot. These, nobody's going to be singing.
Yeah, so I think that this, especially for a family movie, I mean, we've seen some real garbage fires in the last couple months. This is not amongst them. No. So I think that, they did much better than I thought they were going to do.
Yeah,
so I give them props for it.
Joe?
I enjoyed this movie. My first thought was like, why do we cast Timothy? I honestly wanted Jeremy Allen White. Jeremy Allen White would have been better.
Yes.
I don't know Jeremy Allen White. Can you tell me?
Yeah, look it up.
You
need to see his picture.
Yeah,
he was in The Bear, Shameless. But he won me over. I love his charisma. Him playing a naive guy. He was great, right?
Yeah,
He's a young Gene Wilder guy. Sure. But yeah, I still liked it. I liked the musical.
Timothy I don't know if Timothy can sing.
Get some auto-tune or something.
Yeah, half of the pop stars today can't sing.
It was a
either.
good story. I really enjoyed it. This is why you go out to the movies, to have fun and enjoy this film, and I really liked it. And again,
I think that you go with Jeremy Allen White if you do the
right,
darkness, if you do that
the in between. It's like what happened?
Right.
But I would have been for him. It would have been perfect.
Right, but they didn't go this path. Instead, let's see here, Warner Brothers. Because I don't know why. It's just like it's not Disney. This is Warner Brothers.
Yes.
They didn't want to go too dark on this.
They want
kind of reimagining.
He's so hot right now, and he's in everything, and it's like it puts butts in seats. So
yeah.
Which it worked. It worked.
It did work. I think that the supporting cast also elevates the film. I think. Let's see. Keegan-Michael Key as the chief of police was making me laugh. I enjoyed his character very much. Noodle, Willy's assistant, Kala Lane, she did a great job there bringing some of the touching moments to the film. He sort of befriends her as he's in kind of this indentured servitude. His good nature is being taken advantage of by our villains in this film all throughout. The first set of villains is done wonderfully by, let's see, what's the name of those characters?
Olivia Colman is the bleacher,
let me
and
look for Olivia Colman, Miss Scrubbit. Yeah, Miss Scrubbit and bleacher Tom Davis. These two do a wonderful job. Little funny subplots there. Apparently. Well, I guess we'll save that for the spoilers. But so you got a little subplot there with indentured servitude, and then you've got Wonka battling the chocolate cartel, and then the eventual kind of creation of what we know. The film does eventually try to tie in and really tugs on those member berries. But yeah, I'd say my biggest criticism is that it's hard to recapture the magic of that original. The songs are not quite as good. The tone is far more like, happy, kid-friendly kind of thing with sprinkles of darkness, but it's done in comedy, and but I enjoyed it for kind of a throwaway popcorn type of film. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to compare his.
I'm trying to think how many songs are in this.
It's quite
a bunch.
bit.
Yeah, there's so many, and they're all mostly just forgettable. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to depict his portrayal as Willy Wonka as like a completely different from fucking Johnny Depp. I know you haven't seen it, but
I saw enough of that movie.
So weird.
That Johnny Depp, I hated.
Yeah,
so
that's why I'm liking this more, because
much.
Obviously the way he did it, like there was some
Johnny Depp was a creepy predator.
Oh.
Yes, it was just disgusting. I hate him. I don't know what he's doing, and
Me neither.
I didn't get it.
And I like this one way better.
Timothy does he dips into a little bit of Gene Wilder, but he brings more of a youthful, wide-eyed, open, learning and just confident in his one ability and then winning people over like that because he is like
Just
pure
like Tim
good.
Burton.
He's like pure.
Yeah, one of the criticisms of Gene Wilder for a long time is like, hey, this Willy Wonka kind of seems like he hates kids.
Yes.
And then so it's like he's supposed to be, be a kid.
This
The
Willy
embodiment
Wonka
of being.
loves people.
Yeah, so this one like
This one hates people.
Yeah, and it's like, oh wow. So
I love it. That's how I like it.
yeah, so they kind of swapped over a little bit, but like I said, I think that they went a little silly. Even like that is with me understanding that I don't like that kind of stuff, but even for kids, it's like you didn't have to go as silly, and I think it would have, the movie would have flowed better together because I mean there's some dark stuff and some like really touching stuff that they try to finish on, and he's like doing zany things in the background. It's like, come on, you have to know when to.
So the
I just
prequel
chalked it up to it's a musical.
So the prequel has 11 songs in total, and I know 2 of those were Pure Imagination and then the Oompa Loompa. So you can -2, so you got like 9. And of those 9, I'd probably say I thought 3 were acceptable. The other ones were just like average. Like I was just letting them pass. Do your thing. I know that's what you need.
Yeah.
We can go into what those are as we go into the spoiler section, but I enjoyed the bright visuals, the magic of Willy Wonka's interesting creations in chocolate, and just these ingredients I really enjoyed. Now, do I really buy that this, this supposed poor penniless man who has no skills in other areas except for making chocolate, makes these concoctions with fucking silk from Constantinople and milk from Zimbabwe or whatever he says. It's fucking impossible.
Hey, look, you gotta buy
whatever.
it.
It's the magic, and I like to say, I
exactly.
wanted to be a magician, and so I like that kind of ties in there. So
kudos
it goes, yeah, you like magicians. It goes back and forth between this fantasy land. You have to accept in this world there's certain things, and that's why I was willing to accept a lot of the other things that occur in this particular world, this fantasy world. I am curious if this does well enough, because if they want to continue films in this particular version, and or if it's like a one and done thing. You never know. If this film if it makes $1 billion, they're gonna fucking continue it with Timothy as Willy Wonka. But if it doesn't do too well, then maybe it'll just stay as a one-off prequel, and that's fine. Honestly, that's fine. So this one, I would say, is safe to bring the kids to. I think you'd have a good time. I think the kids would have a good time. So this one, I would recommend you go out in theaters. Let's go ahead with final verdicts.
Go ahead, Alex.
I'm struggling between a 6 and a 7 because I think that this is at least an above average film, and I did enjoy quite a bit of it. It's weird because you feel like you're being manipulated when he starts singing Pure Imagination. It's like, how dare you? But but it's there, and it's something that a lot of things do. So I think I will go up to the 7. I think it is a it's a sweet movie. There's some charm to it, and it loses all of its points because I think that this, like other directors, I think have forgot, like they make movies like they don't understand children, where it's like kids can appreciate, and you don't have to dumb everything down for kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like they just went too far with that kind of stuff. And I think that even little kids can watch the original movie.
Are you saying this one went too far to be dumbed down?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think that they went extra zany and extra wacky and tried to do some some other things, and then they put things in for the parents there. The stuff with the family element. So, but I think that they did a good job. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay,
and Joe?
I'm going to go with the 7 as well. I enjoy the musical. Some of it, obviously, some of the songs weren't very good. Not enough Oompa Loompa for me.
You're hoping
come on. But
we have one Oompa Loompa.
Hugh Grant was
what's
great.
his name? Hugh Grant.
Yeah, but that was
the
it.
British
it
version
was
of an Oompa Loompa.
Quick. It was funny. His little
Distinguished,
backstory.
refined.
Yeah.
Well-spoken Oompa Loompa, and it's a variation of an Oompa Loompa we haven't seen before, and I thought it was creative.
No, it was. So I enjoyed it, but again, like some of these songs, I like musicals, but these aren't very memorable songs, except for the ones that you kind of cheat on. Good, heartfelt story. Your family's going to love this. So 7 for me.
Turns out the director is the guy that did Paddington, wrote and directed. Paddington 2 wrote and directed, which was a joke, the best movie ever or something. And other films, I forget which one that was. And apparently there's going to be another Paddington in Peru, but Paul King didn't direct. He's not going to direct that one. He only wrote it. But he directed and wrote this one, Wonka. And I thought it was solid. Yeah, I basically, and I don't like musicals. Like, I kind of avoid musicals. I'm crabby, I'm grumpy, and it did enough that I was like, all right, I'm having a good time. When you make me laugh, and you have that kind of childlike wonder and the fantasy and the magic and the different candies and people just enjoying the candies and evil people getting their kind of comeuppance, being overwhelmed by the personality of Wonka and goodness in the world. I like it. And it's so like Joe says, it's a good movie to take your family to. So I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10 as well. I think that's solid. And that's high for me for musicals. So while the music itself isn't what held this film up, I think the performances, the comedy, and the writing does well. Okay.
So the original number 1. This one number 2.
Yeah. Original, we're talking 10 out of 10 for me. This one, I think, is a 7. I can see people giving it a 6. And then,
but still number 2 out of
and then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I literally would give a 2 out of 10, Joe. I want to know your rating on that one.
Below average.
4?
No.
There's no way you would give it a 4, Joe. What redeeming qualities did that have? I want you to tell me one sequence you liked.
It was stupid. No, it was just so stupid. Everything.
Stupid.
Like, I didn't like.
So what about the
Johnny.
squirrel's nuts?
No.
You didn't like the squirrel nuts part?
No.
I saw that in the commercial.
I saw that one, and then the Oompa Loompas.
All the Oompa Loompas are
the rock version of whatever they're doing.
There was one chocolate baron that would vomit every time somebody said, "You're poor." The poor people.
The poorest, yeah.
That's what I do when I hear about the songs that are in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory 2005. What would you rate it?
And his grandpa. Let's go with a 3.
Okay, 3 out of 10.
3 out of
All
10.
right, well, that's our review for Wonka. If you want to stick with this, we can go into the spoilers. And, so check it out in theaters, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Okay, so basically,
we find out who Willy Wonka's dad is. It's the
what?
Yeah,
we did.
It's that fish guy. It's his mom.
Huh, Alex?
Oh, it's the bestiality movie. You remember the long story that the reason the Hobbit movies were garbage is because Guillermo del Toro left the project and he wanted to make a movie about bestiality. Mm-hmm. Well, the main character from that movie has sex with the fish man from Hellboy. And then,
y'all are going way out there because the actress
is the one that had
lady in the water or whatever with the water lady.
Yeah.
No, Joe.
Spoilers.
I got it. I got you.
We don't know anything about his father, which I'm a little angry with. He only cares about his mother. And so we learned that Wonka is Mama's boy. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
It's
fine. He's Mama's boy. And she was poor, and they lived on a boat. They were in the forest or something, floating on the river. And every day she would come back with one cocoa bean. Now, whether she's stealing these cocoa beans from the actual Oompa Loompas, maybe, or I don't know where she's getting them.
Yeah, but they keep
That's true.
Look, throughout the movie, they're inconsistent in what they call cocoa beans, by the way, which is not accurate because there's pods, and pods contain beans, and they were mixing them up throughout the whole movie. And if your whole movie's about fucking chocolate, then you can fuck right off.
You get it right or pay the price.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were so poor, one bean a day, and then during holidays or Christmas time or whatever, she would make one chocolate bar. And he saved
the best
it. And
ever.
it was kind of like a little keepsake.
Chocolate works.
And it looks like the golden ticket thing. And while she died and passed away, she told her, when you share your chocolate with the world, I will be there and I'll tell you the secret. But then she passed away, and it's sad. And then the first time he shares chocolate with the world, it goes horribly wrong. Because all the fucking barons hatch a scheme to poison the fucking chocolate.
Because it's too good.
It's just too good. Even the barons, when they put the chocolate in the mouth, and then they have to lie their ass off.
It's funny because he gives them all free samples of this new chocolate.
Yeah, I kept being like, hey, you didn't pay for that. Hey, get your ass back.
Not only that, everyone starts floating.
It's filled with bugs.
Okay.
It's filled with bugs.
He says that, and people start eating it.
He roofies people. He gives them the Cosby.
Man, this is dark.
Yeah, like he's giving people the Cosby special, where it's like,
and then they have to fart it out. So
they fart out bugs,
bugs, farting, wine, whiskey, regret.
Yeah, there's all sorts of weird stuff in the chocolate.
What's it called when you the call of shame when you're trying to call like your ex?
He just said he's gonna do something to regret.
Yeah. So he's got all sorts of different candy concoctions that he pulls out. He's got a little mini box.
He milks a giraffe.
He does milk a giraffe in this film, and he asked permission, so it was consensual.
Yeah, that time, but he drugged a man to get there.
Yeah, that's true.
He liked the chocolate.
But it's a gift. It's a gift for thanking them for their service.
Roofies are not gifts.
No.
It ultimately brought that guard together with the love of his life, which I was very disappointed. I was thinking at some point in the film, here's something that didn't work. When the little orphan girl is talking about her mom and her little story, they leave room on the side of the frame so that they can do some drawings. I didn't like that. You know, you're just like literally spelling it out for your audience, and everybody's staring at that. I'm just ignoring that because the animation sucks. It's nothing. And you see on her face, and you see her performance, and you can see it there. You can use your own imagination.
No, but kids are stupid.
Like they're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That didn't work. And but the point that I was making, I now lost. Son of a bitch. Yeah. So and this one, this is clearly not the Willy Wonka that we know from Gene Wilder's version. Because where is this little orphan girl? Where are his fucking helpers? You have an accountant. So eventually he starts the song off. Starts with a song. Has like 12 shillings to 12 silver pieces, which people keep taking advantage of. By the end of the song, he's got nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, and he needs a place to stay. He goes, this one guy with the most evil voice ever, but I loved his voice.
Yeah, he's great.
Tom Davis. Yeah. And he basically forces him into indentured servitude with this huge contract. And it's like, okay, the little orphan girl, though, who is already forced to work here, helps him out because she thinks he's funny and charming. And she's like, hey, read the fine print. So you think, okay, he's gonna notice. And he goes, everything looks fine here, and he signs it anyway. So I'm like, okay, he's gonna have this grand master plan by the end of the film. He's gonna turn it all around on them. And no, it turns out that this motherfucker can't read.
He can't read, and he's drugging people.
They were very poor. They were on a boat. When the fuck did he go to school, Joe?
He didn't go to school. He just taught himself chocolate and chocolate only.
Yeah, that's why his chocolates are so good. He taught himself magic, and he taught himself chocolate.
What else do you
The
fucking
thing
need?
is, he taught himself real magic somehow. I don't know how. It wasn't fake magic. It was real magician magic, apparently. And he taught himself chocolate making. So, anyways, he signs the fucking thing, which forces him into a really bad deal. It costs him 10,000 shillings, silver pieces, to get out of this. But yet he's going to sell chocolate on the side. And that's when we have our hijinks and cool stuff. And, man, there's just this funny-ass sequence where he tries to distract the lady of the house and, her brute enforcer, Bleacher, by getting them together. She has a weakness for noblemen, and then they make up this story that Bleacher is secretly a nobleman from a poor country or something. And the scene when he comes out,
he's got that outfit, by the way. Did you know he has that exact outfit? He bought it years ago.
Outfit.
I do. I bought it for Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Why? So is it that high? So I can see your legs?
Yes.
So here's what it is Willy Wonka's like, hey, man, you need to show her some thigh, show her some ankle, and show her some knees. naked.
But if you really want to make her
lady.
blush, show her some thigh.
Show her some thigh. And so he does. He puts
Next
on the
scene,
outfit that
funny.
Joe has. It's like the little German
Lederhosen.
boy.
Lederhosen.
Lederhosen, yeah. And it's so funny. It's great. Loves the sequence.
Yeah.
And they have fun with it. They teased at these two, hooking up or, him loving her. And they do that subplot. But yeah, go ahead and take it. Somebody take it.
Yeah, so they develop these bad guys, and then he's just selling chocolate, and he's becoming more successful. But the three cartel heads, the Slugworth and the two other ones that don't matter as much, have this thing set up where they own the city. They're bribing the police with chocolate. They can bribe the courts. They can bribe everything. They have this huge supply of chocolate hidden under the cathedral.
Yeah.
And then so Rowan Atkinson is like the corrupt chocolate loving bishop.
That was some weird shit. All these monks chanting and their chocolate fiends. Oh, I fucking forgot it again. So I'm a little disappointed that by they do the animation. So I was kind of crapping on the animation. Another animation is shown at one point that shows all of this operation. That one works because we need to see it in a quick form. But in that explanation, they mention there's one female guard and she knows karate or kung fu or something. So I was like, okay, at some point, Willy Wonka or somebody, the Oompa Loompa is going to have to fight this crazy-ass bitch doing flips and shit. And that never happened.
They roofied her.
Yeah, maybe it's in a deleted scene and they got rid of it because they did mention that she knows some kind of kung fu karate. We never got it.
Never got it.
Go ahead.
I was disappointed in that.
Yeah, and so the plan is they need to earn enough money to get out of bondage. So they owe these people all this money. He's gonna open up his own place, and then it's successful. He's selling it on the streets, and he's running away from the cops, even though they've bribed him to keep him off of it. And then eventually they earn enough to go legitimate and own a storefront, and they have this major grand opening.
So the first chocolate, let me just go through some of the chocolates. So the first chocolate is the one that has bugs in it.
It has bugs in it.
Apparently floating bugs, and everybody enjoys that when they float up. Then what's the next one?
The second one is the silver linings one. He gives it to her. It's filled. Yeah,
it's the idea. It's got a little cloud lightning, and you go, Wait, you just went twice. There's something, so they do that little thing.
I like the third one.
The confidence one.
The confidence
giraffe milk
He's
confidence.
like, will you marry me? He's like, are we going to go on an adventure? He's like, no. Sorry for wasting your time.
That was funny because like Joe crap up. I'm like, why you like that part? Tell me why you like that part.
Because it's funny. He's just like, no. I was like, what? Just say yes. He's just like, no.
Yeah. I know because the man was just brutally honest. He's like, nah, we ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, bitch, I'm here. This is me. You don't have to say accept me or me for me. But no, he wants to do those things.
He just had no confidence.
No confidence.
Then there's the hair growth one that they do.
One.
Yeah, where the cat eats it. They kind of don't give your animals chocolate. It can kill them.
Yes, it's
Don't do
movie.
that.
Don't do it,
kids.
kids.
I thought you were talking about the other one. So that was the correct one that you can go to the barber shop and you can eat this mustachioed
and you get
cake.
hair.
It's an eclair.
You get hair. But then there's another one where they poison it with
The Yeti.
elixir of Yeti.
Something.
Yeah, and that's what fucks up his first reveal. So eventually they get so much money they can legitimately buy the shop. They don't buy their way out. I wish there was a line or two that said, "Hey, we did this," instead of buying our way out. And but it doesn't matter because the cartel had the two evil landlords poison the chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so they're pretty much back to square one. They they get arrested, and he's given a decision. He's just like, look, well, you leave town forever. You go to the north. You go to the North Pole, and then I will buy everyone's freedom, including your own. But you just have to leave.
And he bribed him. He said, then that little girl orphan, she's gonna get extra money. And he's like, and he grew a friendship with her, because she was so awesome and so positive in helping him. He wanted to help her, giving her a lifetime supply of chocolate. Guarantees one. I'm like, damn. And then she made out good. Oh, I forgot another really standout sequence was when the chief of police is like, look, I'm not going to help you, fucking cartel baron. My wife is saying I need to lose weight. I need to work on, not eating so much chocolate. And then they do this song and dance sequence. That was a good one. We'll talk about the individual songs in a bit. But they get darker later on when they finally poison him. He's ruined. Everybody is like throwing up. How dare you make my child have a mustache? And everybody's running out of the burning building because some bitch was like, when you give my child a mustache, I'm going to fucking light your place on fire. I'm like, Jesus Christ, woman.
Good thing no one was standing under that chandelier when you dropped it. Those kill
crazy ass people. So anyways.
Yeah, and so he accepts and he goes, fine, I'll exile myself. All these people are free. You know,
he made her promise.
He shot his shot, and then but then it turns out that he meets the Oompa Loompa on the boat because there's this thing where subplot where Willy had gone to an island and stolen 4 pods of chocolate from the Oompa Loompas, and then so he said that you have to repay that 1,000-fold. So this Oompa Loompa has been stealing his chocolate for years and years to try to hoard it all.
Yeah.
And so the Oompa Loopa's there on the boat, and they're like, "Hey, I'm going to follow you until you repay me with this chocolate." And then they realize there's a bomb on the boat, and like these people are going to kill him. So
so they have this idea. Luckily, they realize it in time, and then in funny fashion, the Oompa Loompa jumps off first. He jumps with them. Boat explodes. They're like, "We got him." Which I also thought that when he said, I'm going to get 1,000 times back, I'm like, okay, so he's stashing chocolate somewhere. Maybe this will come into play where the Oompa Loompa will be like, here, you know, like he loses all of his chocolate and the Oompa Loompa gives him his chocolate to win the day. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, or
it's
use
like, bitch, you're giving me that chocolate back.
That tank of chocolate that they dump into the sewer. It's like that's how he acquires the other Oompa Loompas or something. But no, we don't get that.
No, they don't really tie into how he does the other Oompa Loompas. Maybe they're saving that story for a potential sequel if they make a lot of money. Anyways, this little Oompa Loompa was supposed to guard the chocolate. He was sleeping at the time. It was hilarious. And then they told him, because this motherfucker stole our pods, you have to get out of here. And so he cannot return until he gets, 1,000 times that. Anyways, so, yeah, and then we have a subplot where, like, we're tying a lot of things in towards the end. I think they maybe went 1 or 2 too many because it would have been fine. Turns out the little orphan girl was the rich girl, and she was in the family the whole fucking time. It's just this, the Slugworth uncle was like, the mother, I guess, one time she got sick, and the mother went to the rich Slugworth and said, could you take care of the baby? And then he's like, yes. And then he lied to her and said the baby died. And so.
Because he threw her down the shaft.
And then he threw a baby down a fucking shaft. I'm like, gee, fuck this guy. Luckily, it lands safely because in the next scene, the evil landlord lady and shit is putting her in indentured servitude to work for her. Great. They're not good people. Anyways, what else at that point?
Yeah, and then he gets back, and then there's the heist scene where there's like, look.
Oh, it turns into a heist movie.
Yeah, they got to get a heist movie. So like they need to be able to take down the cartel, and the only way to do so is to get their books and like show that they've been bribing people and stealing and
everybody has a unique skill. What are the skills?
The accountant is accounting.
Yeah.
One lady used to run the telephone lines.
Yeah, so she can like reroute the calls that needs to be rerouted.
Plumbing, so she knows all the sewage and everything.
Okay. The little girl is an orphan.
She can read.
She can
read, and she's got gumption.
And then there's the comedian guy who can talk like he's underwater.
And I thought, it's so stupid. He's like, that's my one skill. And I was like, okay, this movie is so stupid. They're going to make it to where he will actually contribute. But he never actually contributed with the voice. Tell me the contribution, Joe. So during the heist,
they put a giraffe in the chapel or in the church.
Yeah, because these monks are guarding it.
So they call the zoo, say, "Hey, we got one of your giraffes. We need somebody."
And
they call
everybody's there contributing a different animal noise.
Yes, and he talks as an octopus that's underwater. Because that's what octopus.
No, he doesn't, Joe. He says. But what I didn't understand about it wasn't it a zookeeper under the water taking care of an octopus, and he was saying, "Yeah, me too," or something like that. It
was just so stupid.
They never tied it in. So the kung fu and the undervoice water. I wonder if there's shit on the cutting room floor.
I hope so.
And he's apparently a super funny comedian, but he was not funny at all. But maybe that's the joke.
Well, I like that at the end because she's like, all right, they paid off your debt. You're free. He's like, well, I would say it's been a blast to be here, but you've been a terrible crowd. He's like, well, you weren't very funny. It's like,
That's
okay.
a good one.
That's
a good one. I also like Bleacher was like, hey, you got a gift. Keep doing what you're doing. He's the only
There's just
one
like little moments. It's like,
yeah,
this is fucking stupid.
Funny little,
but I enjoyed it.
I guess that comes from that Paddington guy because he's got a little bit of that, humor where it's like da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. It's good. All right. So, yeah, they buy everybody's freedom except for the little girl. They betray, obviously, Willy Wonka to blow up his ship and betray the little girl. The money is not given to her. Instead, the money is given to the evil lady so she can keep her in prison forever, in perpetual prison. Luckily, Wonka shows back up and says, hello, through the little window, and they break her out in this extremely dangerous ladder-on-ladder thing that will just, wave away in the fantasy world. And what do they do next?
The heist.
Yeah, so then they do the giraffe, and the monks are distracted by it. Then they get the security officer and it turns out that the lady he called when he was doing his little regret thing was the same lady that's in the underground that knows the kung fu, and she's the last line of defense. And they give the chocolate to her, and her regret call is the guy. Ha-ha, it links. And so
then she passes out.
She passes out. And then they go and they find.
The book, and
initially, they don't find the book. Little girl gets frustrated, throws something, and it breaks something, and it reveals the book. So they get the book, but unfortunately, the guy who was stuck in traffic, Slugworth, was stuck in traffic.
He knew what was going on.
Yeah, and he shows up with a gun. So our first gun in Willy Wonka. I don't think Johnny Depp's ones had a gun. So this one had a gun, and he's gonna shoot him dead.
Hey, Mike TV had guns.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Okay, well, not counting that. And so we're moving on. So he was going to shoot. No, he doesn't. His plan is not to shoot him.
He shoots into the air.
Shoots into the air.
His plan is
he
to
could
ruin.
shoot him at any moment, but he decides to put them.
He decides to ruin $1 billion worth of chocolate.
I was thinking about it. You got 2 dead bodies in your chocolate.
Yeah, you know what happens? They poop in there, and then they're also she's an orphan and filthy, and he's filthy, and they're just like throwing them in this giant vat of chocolate.
Ruining your chocolate.
It's like because you're an orphan doesn't mean you're filthy.
Well, she was filthy.
She was completely.
None of them showered.
She was in a poop-filled pigeon coop that morning.
Yeah.
She didn't change or shower.
So that chocolate would not have been delicious. I don't know why they're ruining their chocolate,
and then,
but that's the movie. That's
and
the
then
part
Willy Wonka serves that chocolate to everyone in London, and then they all get dysentery and die.
Oh yeah, I forgot that is also true.
Yeah,
like they don't watch the chocolate.
You're not supposed to think about that. They're out.
I know.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Look,
but at this point, I was already having a good time. I'm not looking at things like that. I don't give a shit about things like that. I know because this is the villain and the sharks with the lasers on different.
Yeah, it's like why don't we just kill him? Pop, father and son.
I thought that the third guy. So throughout the whole film, there's one of the chocolate barons is played by what's this guy?
Isn't he like a British?
Rowan Atkins? No.
It's
Matt
Lucas.
Yeah.
He used to be
a judge, right?
Well, he used to be one of the guys on Great British Bake Off.
Yeah,
he's been a comedian for a long time.
Yeah,
he's also the worst. There's a movie called Polar on Netflix, and that movie actually has a really cool premise. He is so bad in that movie that that movie is almost unwatchable.
Yeah. So I thought he would be the one because he says the obvious thing. It's like, and now we're gonna kill you dead and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so they lock him in there. They fill up the chocolate, but Wonka has one idea right before. He has 2 ideas. First idea is I gotta do the right thing. I gotta pay off the Oompa Loompa with the last. I only owed him 1 more jar of chocolate. So he gives the jar of chocolate. He says, can I have 1 more kindness? And that's when the yellow one was like, why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying the obvious. We don't have to give him this kindness. But he's like, I will. He's like, all right, fine. But it turns out they eat all the chocolate because Wonka was like, this is my best chocolate I've ever made. And
it's filled with bugs.
Really?
He doesn't say
so
that.
they eat his chocolate. By the time they rise up in the elevator, it's fucking empty. They throw it in the trash. And the Oompa Loompa notices. And he's like, motherfucker stole my chocolate. Now I'm going to come after you. But instead of going after them, he goes and saves Wonka, and because I guess he needs his chocolate, because Wonka needs to make more chocolate. He doesn't really want to save his life. And he saves the orphan by extension, and then gets the comeuppance from the main guy. They present the green ledger that has all the evidence. All the police are there, and they give it straight to the police. Meanwhile, the police chief gets out of his car, and he's the biggest. He's put on at least 300 pounds in chocolate over the past 2 weeks, and he's like, "Give me the ledger," and they're like, "No, well, because your name is in here."
A lot.
Because they kept giving him chocolate boxes as a way to bribe him for all of his looking the other way. So, and then last minute, the chocolate barons fly up into the air because there's flies in the chocolate, and they are unable to do anything about it.
Strong dose.
And then something I didn't expect. I don't know. I thought all that chocolate underground was gonna go to the Oompa Loompa or something, and then they can't pay their bills.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we don't care. We've got so much chocolate down there. It'll pay off all our bills. Even though, there's got to be somebody in this world that doesn't like chocolate. That's like, no, I don't want chocolate. I want money.
You don't like chocolate, and you don't like chocolate.
What? No, I love chocolate.
I like chocolate,
I don't
but not
like
like a
chocolate
lot.
cake.
A lot. I don't want too
Triple
much
chocolate cake is what me and Joe don't like. That's like
I wouldn't
every
mind,
part.
like, give me
so
like
they're
a
like,
little piece to be fine.
Joe and Joe don't like chocolate. It's no chocolate cake. I like chocolate.
He doesn't like too much chocolate in anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I like chocolate. I'll eat all the chocolates. I just
I'm
don't
the
like
worst.
chocolate.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like dark chocolate. I hate dark chocolate.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Can't do it.
chocolate ice cream with
I'll do dark
chocolate.
chocolate if it's like almond joy or mounds or whatever, but I cannot do white chocolate. That makes me throw up.
Well, because it's
not chocolate.
It's not chocolate. It's vegetable. Well, in the United States, it's
Oh,
mostly
really?
vegetable fat, vanilla, and sugar. Because
Fake taste. Well, then that's what it's been the whole time. I hate white chocolate. I don't like dark chocolate. Love milk chocolate. And Wonka chocolate would probably be the best. So then,
no,
at
it's
the
not.
end,
It's sewer chocolate.
well, he
Now
does. He
he
does
was-
do so, but they don't
Start a
pay.
new factory.
He releases all the chocolate, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing? That's gonna flood the fucking area." But apparently, it just operates with the fountain. It's a chocolate fountain.
Yeah,
and
You're
the
not
whole
supposed
city
to think about how the plumbing works.
He throws some sprinkles in it and goes, "Don't worry, I was just swimming in there."
Oh, that is the excuse. He does sanitize the chocolate.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
sprinkles.
He magic sprinkles, and then he's like
Oh, his
serving.
one idea I forgot to say because he had two ideas. He said the Oompa Loompa, we gotta pay him back, and then he's like, okay, how do we get out of here? And he's like, fuck, I don't know. Let's just make it my chocolate, and then we'll die in my chocolate. And she's like, that's a terrible idea. Let's try to
Going out your own way is respectable.
I know. I was like, well, if we're gonna die, we might as well die in my chocolate. All right, Wonka.
Yeah, okay, man of principle.
But then so at the end, he opens up the one chocolate bar with his mom, and guess what? Golden ticket. I got a gold. No song. Instead, it is the secret formula from his mom. And what's the secret formula, Joe?
The secret is, it's
not the
love.
chocolate.
It's love. It's who you share it with that makes it special.
That is correct.
So he's got his friends that he made, shares it.
Shares
and
it with
it's
all the friends, and I was
amazing.
like, I want a piece because like if that's your mom chocolate, maybe that's gonna be the
And
best
then he
chocolate
sees
ever.
his mom.
But the expression on people's faces aren't as good as some of the expressions
Yeah,
we've
they
seen
was like,
before. They're like,
"Ooh."
and they kind of move on. In fact, the little orphan girl has no expression. You never really get to see her face on it. And I guess his mom makes kind of crappy chocolate. He makes better chocolate than his mom because I thought it was gonna be the best bar ever. But they don't play that up. Anyways.
Yeah, and that's
What
where
else?
he finally sees her.
And
He
then
gets his little satisfaction.
Oh, he does
yeah,
see
yeah,
her.
he sees a vision of his mom.
Kisses
And,
and blows him a kiss.
yeah, and then we get the wrap up. They they do this thing at the end. They've done off screen. They did a bunch of sleuthing. They find out who the mother is. The orphan's mom
said
is
she
alive.
So then
lives-
this goes another one. So we have another tropey thing where it's like the orphan. Not only is the orphan now probably going to inherit the
Slugworth
empire, but also the mother works as a librarian, and Timothy takes her to her mother because
I thought they said,
phone
oh, she
lady-
lives there. I was like, she lives in the library?
Pretty much. And then he sings the song
Yeah, pure imagination.
Pure Imagination to go visit his mother. So
Yeah.
they were trying to tug on the heartstrings. Didn't really affect me. I wasn't crying or, I didn't feel any emotion. I was just, oh, that's nice.
It was a good message.
It was a
Yeah.
good message. I liked it. And then the Oompa Loompa comes on this. Oh, no. First, he's like, all right, shop is not enough for me. He's like, you're going to rebuild your shop? The shop's not enough. I want a factory. And then we actually get to see he goes to a castle, and the Oompa Loompas is a broken castle, but then, his imagination. And it looks like the original 1971 factory. So I was appreciative of the little recreation. He gets to play in it a little bit as he's singing. And yeah, I don't know if they intend to do another one or if they intend to do a recreation of the 1971, because it would be a completely different Wonka. The little girl would have to die and he'd have to become like a curmudgeon and stuff. But I kind of do want a sequel. I want to see their own take. You know what I mean? I want them to go in a completely different direction. Maybe still, reference the fucking crazy carnival ride through the fucking
or we do 5 nights at Wonka's
and a bunch of
and that's how it gets real
with
dark.
real jump scares this time.
Yeah. Where like the kids break into his factory and the Oompa Loompas are like hunting children, and that's how.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Or how he gets his Oompa Loompas could be the next film. Anyway, so here are the songs. Oh, and then at the very end, during the credits, stay for the credits. There's nothing after the credits, but during the credits, the little Oompa Loompa explains what happens to everybody.
Yeah, it's so like the one guy gets his wife back, the other guy has a successful career, gets his wife back, and then 2 ladies are like, you have jobs again. And that's like how their life is. Congrats. You get to be she gets
Go back to work.
She inherits $1 billion chocolate empire, finds a mom, lives in a library, like gets his wife and his family back, and like
and then you get to work on the line for phone company.
But she loves work. I don't know.
It was shitty. I didn't even know what happened to the other lady.
Go work at the chocolate factory. She goes back to work. And all of her employees
the
plumber. Lady. Yeah, she goes back and everyone's like, "Oh, it's great to see you."
But she's not stuck being an unpaid worker anymore.
Or she go work for Willy Wonka.
All right, here are the 9 songs. A Hat Full of Dreams. Did you like it?
It's
say bad, average, or good. Hat Full of Dreams.
Is average.
Yeah,
average. Shit, I can't go bad. There's also below average. I think Hat Full of Dreams is below average.
Yeah.
You Never Had Chocolate Like This. The first rendition of You Never Had Chocolate Like This, when the chocolatier and Noodles join forces to escape Mrs. Scribbits for the day. I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Below average.
Yeah.
Scrub. This is a musical thing where they go and they,
describe their work
all
and what they got to
work.
do and everything. Yeah.
I guess that one's better than the last 2, but average. Sweet Tooth is sung by the Chocolate Cartel to Bribe King. And this one I liked, but I think it was mainly because of the performances and the comedy and what was happening there rather than the song.
Yeah, I would say it's above average if you want to give us that intermediate one.
Above average. And then For a Moment. When they break into the local zoo and milk a giraffe.
I think that was a good one. I think that's one of the best ones, original songs that they did. It was actually really long when they're floating through the air on the balloon.
Average.
They,
Oh right.
Yeah, so the one, and then so they're both singing, like different, so like they're harmonizing well. So I think that's one of the better ones.
Feel better, a little hopeful. So I'm gonna say above average. Joe.
Yeah, same.
And then You Never Had Chocolate by this again. All right, well, we're moving on. Oompa Loompa, obviously that's good. That's the highest I'll give it. But it's Hugh Grant, and I would say the original, is better.
Oh yeah.
A World of Your Own. The song is performed when Wonka opens his chocolate shop for the first time. So it's like kind of like a play on. A world of imagination, but it's more like a world of your own. I'd say average.
Yeah,
Sorry Noodle. I don't remember this. As he's leaving town, having been pushed out by the cartel, he feels bad for failing Noodle. I don't even remember that
it's
one.
a little sad song. Yeah.
Was that on the boat?
That was a forgettable one?
It had to be on the way to the boat. I don't remember.
Say bad because I don't even fucking remember it. And then Pure Imagination, obviously top tier, not as good as in the original.
Where's the Candyman can, motherfuckers? Where is that? That song is
can.
Yeah. That's not in this. Come on.
Yeah. Candyman. All right. Well, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, just about.
It was solid. Thank you all so much for watching. And, check it out at the theaters. It's good. And check out our wallet. It's extra. You got 24 hours to still get that amazing deal. And even after the 24 hours,
it's still an amazing deal.
There's still going to be amazing deals.
The Christmas are going on right now. So, yeah.
It's a better wallet, cheaper wallet than a lot of the other competitors. The other promos. Like, I bought them all, and I figured out which was the best one, which ones we want to work with. Check it out. All right. We'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.